So Kirti's speech is titled Well-Behaved Woman Speaks Up, Swears and Surrenders. Kirti says that she is always on a bit of a pathway, discovering new ways to describe what she sees, feels, and does. So with a speech entitled Well-Behaved Woman Speaks Up, Swears and Surrenders, please join me in welcoming Kirti.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start off and share with you that I am proud of my Indian heritage, and I was raised in a Dutch environment. But if you asked me this a few years ago, or I told you this, I wouldn't have believed it myself. You see, when the partition happened, we no longer had roots. Pakistan, where we were, and India had no state for us. So my family left and rooted up in a place called Curacao in the Caribbean. Now, growing up there, I didn't always feel like I belonged there. In fact, I remember once or every day when we used to go to school, we used to be told, now, watch what you say, watch what you do, and make sure you behave well. Make me proud. These were the words of my parents every single day. Now, over time, I would remember this and I felt subdued or suppressed or sometimes even scared. What do you say? How are people going to react to me? Now, if you're an astrology buff, I'm a Virgo. And you know, Virgos have this sense of justice, passion for it. And I would be like, why do I have to accept this? Why do I always have to hear people are tolerating us? So I'm going to share with you 3 ways I dealt with this. I remember being in the cinema and my mom would tell me, shh, Kirti, get up. Let's go sit somewhere else. But Ma, we sat here first. She goes, it doesn't matter. We can sit somewhere else. And I'd get up and I'd look at my friend and go sit somewhere else. It took me a while to realize that it was the color of my heritage that had my mother apologizing and sitting somewhere else. But you see, it wasn't just color. It got a little more awkward with my family. Imagine being in front of 3 male lawyers, 2 uncles, and a really crazy cousin. And you were standing in front of them, outnumbered because you had to defend your father's honor. The shh, don't speak up was no longer the strategy. Instead, I became labeled as the rebellious daughter. Who's going to marry her? She has a big mouth. But I valued speaking up because I learned how to trust myself and have dignity for myself. But you see, with speaking up and defending yourself, something else comes up. And well-behaved women till today are not allowed to do that. It's sometimes when you have to say the words, oh, fudge. Oh, sugar. Asshole. Bitch. Oh, you see, for a well-behaved woman, that's a lot of bollocks. Oh, shoot, I swore. You see, swearing for a woman is actually freeing from all that suppression she felt. And did you know that in the National Geographic, there was a study done in Australia and New Zealand where when friends swear a lot, they actually have a very close trust with each other. And I actually had that experience in college. I thought it was only just playing poker and drinking whiskey with the lads. But apparently it was the swearing, because till today, they're my bros who've got my back. You see, sometimes you need not to lace things positively, but you got to let yourself free from all that suppression. But with suppression comes something else, and that is surrender. You see, when you are raised as being told, as a woman, you're too strong, Kirti, why don't you just accept what they're saying to you? You see, it's really hard when you cannot describe racial discrimination, cultural bleaching, or social conditioning. And that sense of not belonging is always there in the room. And it's a taboo to speak about it because it makes a lot of people, maybe even you right now, uncomfortable in the room. But surrendering by the Buddhist lineage is about this choice of discernment. You can choose, or I could choose, when to be the good, the bad, or the well behaved woman. Because you got to choose sometimes when you have to be in an outnumbered room and make the room uncomfortable, or when do you use silence to speak. Now, there's a quote that is mistaken for Eleanor Roosevelt, but actually it was penned by Laurel Thatcher Ulrich. Well-behaved women seldom make history. I don't think so. I think the word well-behaved could do with a redefinition. You see, a woman should be allowed to choose when and how to speak up, swear, and surrender at ease.